retire the Columbia endeavor for the discovery of Atlantis and move into Ares, the Mars, and then couple this with the DoD. So I'm working on this concept, following Wernher von Braun's example of what the next steps will be. Of course, he said the first would be the Cold War, second would be terrorists, and third would be asteroids. Now, this would be followed by the extraterrestrial invasion. Mm-hmm. So I am databasing this. I'm coupling this with this new influx of asteroids that are coming in with sonic booms and then quickly followed by earthquakes. There was one that went in December of '99 over the HAARP facility, and I databased this and logged it in my documentary on HAARP because I knew it would become important later. Mm-hmm. So this meteor came in, caused a sonic boom, which is completely unusual, very rare, and then there was a massive earthquake in Anchorage. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I started databasing those, and I have a number of them that I've only listed one right now over Talk, Alaska, that just happened last December 29th, and then there were 250 tremors that hit Yellowstone on that same day.
Freeman, has anybody made a correlation between any HAARP activity and weather, extreme weather? Now I know that they may happen occasionally, but is there a graph where an overlay of some sort where somebody can say they know they fired HAARP up on this day, Katrina hit, they know they fired up the HAARP, and wildfires started running rampant? I mean, or are they just random? Do you see the power up HAARP and maybe get a rainstorm or something?
There have been those that were databasing that, and I honestly haven't kept up. But yes, there are those that are tracking the energy surges coming out of HAARP, and I'm sorry I don't have that for you, though. Mm-hmm. The curious thing now was, and I didn't want to lose track on this Obama thing because this really gets strange.
Okay.
But at the same time, they moved the X-band radar up there to the HAARP facility right as Katrina came in and hit, and everyone forgot about the X-band radar going up there, which just happens to track barium in systems. So
there you go. There's the tie-in.
Yeah, if you're wondering why you're breathing aluminum and barium, it's because there's an X-based radar sitting next to a radio frequency transmitter, which are both designed to control and monitor you. Mm-hmm. And it was completely forgotten about when Katrina came in. It was just a week before when the X-band radar was leaving out of Texas and was heading down around South America when Katrina came in, and everybody forgot about it. Mm-hmm. And all of this will be in my new book, The Sorcerers of Atlantis. I promise you that.
Wow! And definitely keep us abreast of that. When you get that book going there, you let me know. We'll put a link on the website for you.
Okay, it shouldn't be more than a month. But here's the curious thing. I just got to throw this out here. Okay, so I'm looking at Barack Obama, and people are telling me, he really looks like Akhenaten, who is the father of monotheism, and so I go and I split his face with his Time magazine cover, and I put his face on there, and they are an identical match. I mean, really? It's identical. It's freaky looking. So then somebody writes me and says, hey, I saw your artwork of Barack Akhenaten. Did you happen to notice that Michelle looks just like Akhenaten's mother, Queen T? Wow. No, really? So I went and I checked it out, and I put Michelle Obama's high school picture over the bust of Queen T, who was the mother of Akhenaten, and identical, freaky looking.
Oh man!
And then I'm sitting there and I'm going through some more artwork of Akhenaten, and I just went to the Dallas Museum of Art to see Akhenaten and to see King Tut and Queen T. So I just saw this Monday. And we notice in the stela of Akhenaten and his wife Nefertiti, he has these two daughters who then became pharaohs. So my friend's like, well, did you notice he has two daughters here? So I'm like, all right, let's try it. How could this possibly be?
Sure.
I took Sasha and Malia, and I took the two daughters, and sure enough, they are an exact match again.
Oh,
so now we have the entire family being
that is
Akhenaten.
Bizarre.
Yeah,
they're back. They're back. Right out of the from mummification to life. They're back. They're here.
Okay,
let me
just say that the New York Times reported human genetic material largely undamaged after 2,400 years has been extracted from an Egyptian mummy and has been grown in the laboratory. One 2,400-year-old mummy of a child was found to contain DNA that could be molecularly cloned in a plasmid vector.
Why not?
Now, let me just mention that King Tut's penis went up missing during World War II.
Whoa! How
Poor
dare
guy.
they?
Yeah.
And now he's running for Congress.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well-
I mean, this is how amazing our lives are right now.
Yeah.
We are, you know,
Amazing
this
times.
is
They said he
this
would
is where
have,
we're at.
Yeah, they said he would have really no feeling for either one,
Mm-hmm.
man
Yeah.
or woman.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Now,
It
is
doesn't
it?
end there, though. It gets stranger.
Well, go for it. Let's hear the give a stranger
Oh
in that.
my
Let's hear
gosh.
it.
Let's.
Okay, so in the stela of Akhenaten with Nefertiti and his two daughters, there are two other prominent features, which are the flowers they are holding and the sun's rays, the cult of Aten, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he instituted this monotheistic of Aten.
All right.
So the two things that you see in the picture are the flowers and the solar rays, other than the family. And they were the first family were given code names by the Secret Service. And it just turns out that the girls' names are Radiance and Rosebud, which of course are the flowers and the sun in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
But then Barack Obama, he was given the name Renegade. Now this is very curious because if you get the definition of renegade, it's someone who rebels, becomes an outlaw, a disloyal person who betrays or deserts his cause or religion or political party. That's the definition. A type of
knew
defector,
it.
deserter, dissent, go on. And then Michelle Obama was given the name Renaissance. What is this? A second or new birth? Reincarnation? Rebirth?
Wow.
A revival? You know?
Yeah.
This is getting mad.
Well,
okay, but we're not done yet.
All right, go.
Okay, so after we put all this together and we end up with Barack Akhenaten and the entire family of Akhenaten being reincarnated or cloned as the first family, then of course I'm speaking about meteors and I'm speaking about the next step in the plan, which is asteroids. And what, lo and behold, but 2 weeks ago, a month after I reported the idea, an asteroid almost hit the planet.
Yeah.
And it was from the cult of Aten, or the group of Aten, the near-Earth asteroids named after Akhenaten's sun cult, Aten. Well, the one that they have that is expected to come in 31 years from now to bring doom to planet Earth is none other than the comet known, or the asteroid known as Apophis. And Apophis just happens to be the Satan of Akhenaten's belief in Aten.
There it is.
How strange is that?
That is total synchronicity right there.
That's what I'm saying.
The dude is back from the dead. He wouldn't stay buried in the pyramids. Him and his whole crew, his mummy posse, all coming back. They're running the White House now. But there's been some other comparisons that Michelle may resemble somebody from one of the
can I
previous
just
movies.
say-
Never mind. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, okay, eat your heart out coast to coast.
There you go, because
Yeah,
we'll have you on the show, and you can tell us about the meteorites and the asteroids, and you can tell us about the cloned first family right here on the Edge broadcast.
I'll do that.
This
I love you guys. I really do. You are definitely one of my favorite shows.
This is it. And speaking of that, Freeman, we got to go to commercial break, so just stay on our Newsmaker line, please.
All right, you got it.
How about that, folks? So you're going to have to play this tape tomorrow and get this digest this information for you tomorrow, which will be up on the Edge's website in audio and video form. If you have a question for tonight's guest, go to the edgeam.com website and click on the Fast Blast. It'll come right here to the studio, or join him in the lively chat going on now. We take questions, and we have numbers of questions already, and we'll get to questions here in the second hour as we come back with our special guest, Freeman Fly. Don't forget, you can, if you've got a favorite video, go to edgetube.net, a phenomenal addition to our programming and website lineup, edgetube.net. And Jamie, what do you think?
Well, I was just going to say, I know what I'd like to get up on there.
What was that?
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on now.
No, you'll just have to wait and find out.
Okay, we're going to see your contribution here.
Well,
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
contribution.
Okay. All right, we're going to be right back after the break. Don't go anywhere.